3 more times, but turn that exhale into a sigh. Now 3 more times, we're going to turn that sigh into a beautiful note. Once more, and we will turn it into an Om. Bring your hands to your heart center. Inhale fully. Now keep your eyes closed. Start to rub your hands together. Get really hot. And place your palms over your eyes. Spread your fingers wide. Open your eyes behind your palms and then gently bring your fingers down your face so the light enters slowly. Welcome back, everyone. So after we do a breath work of any description, we just offer up the opportunity to have a share. If there is anyone who would like to share their experience of that breath work, if you've done it before, if you haven't, please go ahead. Also, if no one shares, that's absolutely fine as well. Is there anyone who would just like to share something from that? Sure.
Quite deep into it, and I have practiced similar breaths before, but not for as long as that. And so, yeah, I went to a deep place, which is quite nice.
Sure, thank you. Sorry, what was your name?
Gabriella.
Gabriella, thank you very much, Gabriella. Yeah, really deep. And we did that for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I did that. I had to do that for about 20 minutes. So thank you for that. Yeah. Let's take a breath with that. Anyone else who would like to share something? Okay. Oh, sure.
Totally lost track of time, whether it was 1 minute or when he said stop, I was like, oblivious to how long it was.
Yeah. To be honest, sorry, what was your name?
Rod.
Rod, thank you, Rod. To be honest, like I find traditional meditation where I'm just supposed to empty my mind and just have a count really difficult. And it wasn't until someone kind of told me it's okay to count. And then when someone else told me you can count and breathe, I found that really useful just as a meditation technique. So do use it. And it is something that you have to, you can do it for 30 seconds, but this is a breath technique you really have to do for sort of 3 or 4 minutes at a minimum. Really, 5 minutes is really good for it to work. And there are loads of techniques that you can do that do something similar. Alternate nostril breathing is a kind of very common one. I prefer this one because I can do it in public, no one knows I'm doing it. Okay, so let's move on to the breath work that we're going to be doing, which is conscious connected breathing. Okay, which is amazing. The bit that I'm, oh my goodness, this is amazing. We are going to be, as I said, lying down on our backs, breathing to music for half an hour with this specific technique. It will start off gently, it will rise to a peak, and then it will come back down again. And then we'll have a period of silence for us to help integrate and come back. One more track to bring us together, and then we will come back for a share, whether in pairs or as a group. Okay, so that's what it is, 30 minutes breathing, silence, share, pretty straightforward. This is the technique, and I teach it in 4 steps. First of all is the mouth position. So we open our mouths really wide. Let's just have a practice of doing that. Okay? And when I say wide, as if you're going to the dentist. Okay? Now it's difficult to keep our mouth position in that space, right? And it will almost inevitably close. But just try and be aware of it. The wider you open the mouth, the kind of more oxygen you're letting into your system, okay? So your mouth will close and then just be conscious for a little bit. Oh yeah, I need to open my mouth. Second is full body breathing. So we breathe into all parts of our body, our belly, our chest, our shoulders, side of our ribs, everywhere, okay? Let's just try doing that, shall we? So let's get our mouths going. Let's keep that going. Now the third instruction is we make our breath connected. That means no pauses at the top or the bottom. And the last instruction is we pull on the inhale, but just let go on the exhale. Let's take 10 breaths together. Last one. Lean forward, hands on the floor. Okay. Give yourself a little tap. Okay. 10 breaths. Ooh, that felt pretty powerful. Just give us a wave if you felt that was a bit powerful. By the way, sometimes like you'll see me and maybe some other people doing this whilst other people are speaking. That is a silent way without speaking to say, I agree with you, I resonate with you, I hear with you, and I have that feeling as well. So you may see me doing that and other people doing that. So 10 breaths, that's powerful. We're going to be doing that for half an hour. Usually we do it for an hour. And I know some schools of breathwork will do it for 3 hours. Okay? So this is why this is just an introduction, okay? So I'll take some questions, but I will give space for questions, but go ahead.
I just wanted to check, so when our mouths are wide open, are we breathing through our mouth and our nose? Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to like hold your nose or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes.
So, yeah, what was the last instruction?
So the last instruction is, and I'll give the instructions all again. So it's mouth position, full body breaths, connected breathing, and then this is the more subtle one. You kind of pull on the inhale, on the exhale, just. Okay, but it's very powerful. That's why I say it's really powerful and profound. Some of the things that happen to you, and I'm going to talk about some of the sensations and things that might happen to you during your breath work that you might have felt during that now, just so when you experience them in your breath work, you don't feel overwhelmed or panicked by them. So let's take some ideas. What did the physical sensations that people felt during that breath work? Yes, what was your name?
It was so fast. It was too fast.
Too fast.
Too fast, and so many people. And so many. I think by myself in a room that we okay. A lot of people. It's like.
Sure.
It's a lot to contain.
It is. So what we're going to do, just to answer that question now, is we've got two rooms. So if you need a bit more space, I suggest when we breathe, you go into that room there. But it is a very powerful thing in a kind of group situations. But let's just talk about the physical sensations that people felt. Yes.
During the first one, I got intense heat,
And me.
especially in my head.
Yeah.
It wasn't unpleasant, but it was kind of like, is there a boundary to this?
Okay, so intense heat, so you will almost certainly get that, and there will be other sensations similar, like energy, like tingling, hot and cold, energy, all sorts of different sensations, and you may get that in the space of one breath. You may get them all at the same time. Okay, so that's to be expected.
Because I felt the same. I was very hot in my head.
Yeah.
I went really hot anyway, but the heat in the head was good. But I thought I was going to not pass out, but I just felt a little bit spacey.
Dizzy certainly.
That's right.
Now dizziness would be a problem if you were driving or doing heavy machinery.
Yeah, I just felt that.
But we're going to be lying down. So the danger when you get dizzy is that you're going to fall over and hurt
Not
yourself.
dizzy, but it's just the same feeling that she had, and
Sure.
then a bit of dizziness.
Yeah, so that you may get that. Now this is the one piece of advice that I'm going to give you straight away. You are in control of your own breathwork journey, and it's really important that you feel that you can take authority and ownership of your own journey. And you have both the accelerator and the brake at your control, and that is your breath.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, just 2 seconds. So if you want to go deeper, you breathe more fully and more freely. You open your mouth wider. But if it's becoming overwhelming, at any point, feel in your authority to change your breathing pattern back to normal. So close your mouth, put some pauses in. Okay, breathe through your nose a bit more. And that's really important that you know that you are in control. Can you just, if you understand that, can you put your hand up? And maybe give me a wave. Okay? So that's really important that you feel that. Now, any sensations that you get will cease when you change your breathing pattern. Shortly afterwards. Sorry, what's your name?
My name's Jan.
Hello, Jan. What's your point?
I shared feeling hot and dizzy, but the thing I have a lung condition.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit anxious.
Sure. I completely agree with that. So what I would recommend for you, first of all, maybe go in the room over there, and maybe just breathe very gently. Okay, really gently. This is your first time, so you know.
Some of the breathing is familiar from what I've been trained in a respiratory way.
Yeah.
But I'm aware I feel.
I completely get that.
exhausted.
By the way, I have been chronically asthmatic all my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, really badly, and I'm almost completely free of my inhalers now. So I know what it's like to feel tightness in your chest and the anxiousness that builds up. I really hear that. Yeah. So and that's why it's really important that you feel in control. And if you just want to sit, and you may feel nothing on this journey, and that's okay. You get to sit down and lie down and listen to some nice music for 30 minutes. How often do we get to do that? Okay. So please, absolutely, if it's too much, just change your breathing pattern. Okay. So other physical sensations that you get. Did anyone get a dry throat?
Yeah.
You will almost certainly get a dry throat. The only woman I've never had get a dry throat was a lady who came who had something called Sjogren's syndrome, and she has no saliva in her mouth at all. And she said, this is the only time my throat hasn't felt dry, which is a bit strange. So you will get a dry throat. Now, your throat will self-lubricate, okay? You can breathe through it. You may experience something called tetany, which is a kind of locking up. Often happens in your hands, and you might get something called kangaroo hands. It may happen in other parts of your body. Physiologically, it's to do with the changing levels of carbon dioxide in your blood, in your body. Okay. Again, if you change your breathing pattern, that will lessen. But with all of these experiences, all of these sensations that you get, you have the absolute authority to kind of change your breathing pattern. But as a breathwork facilitator, and as you come along to a breathwork session, I really encourage you to go into them. I really encourage you to breathe into them and see what's on the other side. It may be something magical. If you're locking up, okay, what would it be like if there was something that you could let go of in your life? What would it be like if you could let that go? What about if you feel anxiety? What would it feel like if you breathed through that and found out maybe what's causing it and you could let that go? So you have the permission, and give yourself permission not to go deep, but also give yourself the permission in this space to go a bit deeper. Okay? Now, this breathwork does obviously work on the physical layer, and it's so physically rejuvenating to breathe deeply and fully and freely, because we don't breathe very much often. We breathe in, 10% of our lungs. So it's just physically amazing. But this breathwork works on other levels and layers as well. It is extraordinarily good for emotional and trauma release. Okay, so if there's stress or tension that you've been holding in your body, this may well start to release. And what does that look like? Well, it may be also emotional release. You may experience all different sorts of breath work all different sorts of emotions, everything, and we actually welcome everything in, from joy and love and peace, but we also welcome in grief and sadness and fear and anxiety and anger, because all of those things we welcome in and we let them go afterwards. Now I really encourage you, it's not a chance, often we get a space to say it's okay to feel fear, it's okay to feel sadness, and you're going to be supported in that. So I really encourage you to feel all your feelings during the breath work. And again, what may be on the other side of them? What would it be like if you could let that go? And that's why we do the breath work. It can also work on a mental level. I feel like a genius after I've done breath work. It doesn't stay very long, unfortunately, because I'm not a genius. But I see solutions to problems. I kind of see ways forward. I get ideas about things, and I feel, oh my goodness, I could do this, this, and this, and it works on that layer for me. It's a non-denominational practice, but it's not uncommon to have a real experience of spirit, or God, or transcendence. Whatever that might mean for you, okay? That may happen. There are other ways that it can be used, or other realms that you might go into, but be open to what happens. Often people kind of feel the presence of people who have passed, for instance, and that can be often tied with unresolved emotional issues and trauma. So be open to what may happen. So why are we doing this? Kind of what's happening, okay? And why do I think this is such a powerful technique? Now, other people have different explanations. Mine goes like this. At our deepest level, I believe our bodies are really wise. They know what they need to do to heal and transform. Our bodies know what they need to do to be their best selves. But unfortunately, most of the time, we don't give our bodies the chance to do that. We're rushing around doing what we think we should do. Looking after other people, working really hard on this very important project. Getting lost into Game of Thrones, which is one of my guilty pleasures. Monkey mind is another word for it. Where our minds are jumping always, kind of getting stuck. So we don't give our bodies the space and the time to do what they need to heal. Now, when we do a breath work, we are giving ourselves the space and the time, but we are also giving ourselves the energy to do something differently. Because when we breathe like this, with our mouth open and this full body breathing, we are pulling in 3 or 4 times the amount of oxygen of air into our lungs. Now our body does something, that's like energy, and our body does something with that energy. But for each person, what they need at that moment will be different. And so we trust our bodies know what they need to do. And I trust every single one of you. But deep down, not kind of consciously, I think I'm going to, my body needs to do this. But deep down, your body will know what to do with all that energy. And it will be different for every single person. That's why everyone will have a different journey. So that's my explanation of why this works, and why it's so powerful, and why it's so profound, and why it's so immediate. Right? Why it happens so quickly. We don't do this kind very often. But here we give ourselves the space and the time and the energy to do what our bodies need to do. So what will we be doing? Can angels, can you just hold your hands up, please? Okay, these are my assistants, or angels I call them. Okay, so they'll be assisting, they won't be breathing. They will be they're magical beings. Angels don't breathe. So what will we do? Well, our primary job here is to create a safe space for you to do what you need to do. Okay? To let you feel all your feelings. That's what we're here to do. So we're kind of keeping this space, and this is a really safe space. It's completely private. We can make as much noise as we need to. No one's going to get disturbed. So we're here to kind of create this space for you. We will be encouraging you to breathe. I will certainly be doing that as my facilitator. So I will be speaking to you as you go on your breathwork journey, and I will be encouraging you to breathe. If you need support, and that might be a blanket or a tissue or something like that, we will be here to help you. We also offer touch, and you have an and I will give everyone an opportunity to opt out of that before we start. If you know, for instance, I don't want to be touched, that's absolutely fine, but we do offer touch, and that might be to show you where to breathe. For instance, like just on your mouth, we might put a finger here, or onto your chest, or say breathe more into your belly. So we may offer that, as well as speaking it. But we also use our intuition to, people often find human contact very reassuring and very helpful during breathwork. That might look like holding a hand, or a hand on the forehead, or a hand on the shoulder, or something like that. Now, you get a chance to opt out of that at the beginning, but at any time, if you don't want any touch, just say no, it's fine, I'm okay at the moment, and we won't be offended. Okay, we won't. That's absolutely fine, and feel in your authority to say that. So that's what we'll be doing. I'll be guiding. The music will be in both rooms, so just pretend that wall isn't there. And the angels will be here to assist you, whatever you need. If you need assistance, just put one hand up. Two hands looks like you're praising the universe, which is absolutely fine as well. So what is okay and what is not okay? We're going to be starting off lying on your back. That doesn't mean that you have to stay lying on your back. Okay, it is okay to go onto your side. For instance, I often halfway through a breathwork go onto my side. If you find yourself really checking out, it's okay to sit up and breathe. Okay, that is also fine. I really strongly discourage people dancing or doing handstands, and not moving around, because especially in this space today, because we're really full and there's going to be a lot of people lying around. Similarly, I really discourage people from going out to go to the toilet or something like that. Please stay in the room if at all possible. Now, if it really is overwhelming for you and you feel like you cannot cope and you cannot be in the room, that is okay. And one of the angels will take you out to a separate room, and then we'll invite you back to come in for the share at the end, so you still get to experience. But really, if it is too much for you, the breathing pattern, just stay in the room and change your breathing and just experience the energy of what it's like to be in this space, because it is amazing. It is an amazing experience. Obviously, with the space considerations, some people will be in there. Maybe I would suggest, if you want a quieter experience, maybe in there. We feel like you might need to go out maybe next door, or possibly experienced breathers. But this place I think is going to be a really good, because the energy that you get, you can do this practice by yourself, by the way, every single day. It's great, but the energy that you get when you do it in a group is amplified. So I encourage you to kind of to go for it. You'll see Carl there is filming. Obviously that's just for this bit here. We may take some shots afterwards, and now I'm not going to take any pictures of whilst people are breathing, and if we do take any shots, no one's face will be shown. And if you don't want absolute for sure, no, I don't want even the back of my head shown, just come and tell me and I'll make sure no pictures are put anywhere. But really, the pictures aren't, that shouldn't disturb you. I just wanted to just put that in there. What else do I need to say? Have I missed anything? Neil, do you think I've missed anything?
No, I don't think so, really. I think that just amplify that thing you said about people being the authority, So if anyone's uncomfortable about anything, just tell us and we won't be offended. I think it's a really good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Michael.
Just one thing I remember you saying the first breathwork I ever did was letting something out is also really helpful for other people.
Yes. So let's just speak to that. Noise. Okay, we're in a pretty safe space. We can make as much noise as we want to. It can often help release an emotion if a sound is articulated as well. So I'm going to say that's fine, that is okay. But just be aware also that people around you are going to be making noise as well. So I would say maybe, I might say, if you're very sensitive to noise, maybe go in the room next door. Okay? And you know, hearing people make noise will have an effect on you, and it may really, just as you said, it will help you release something and help you feel something, whatever that is. And it may, my wife said when she did breath work with me the first time, she heard people making a noise, and it made her really angry. She was thinking in her head, just shut up, shut up, shut up. But that's what she needed to experience at the time, because she never lets herself get angry. You know, that's something that she has a real problem with. You know, she doesn't actually get angry very often, so she allowed herself to get angry in that moment. And, you know, she managed to do that without judgment. She managed to kind of feel it, notice it, but not get lost in it. Okay? Angels, have you got anything else you would like to say? Lizzie?
Just to ask you to make sure the phones are switched off with the headphones.
I don't mind, but you might be a bit embarrassed. Angels, any other points? Jez?
Yeah, just a very quick one. I feel you've answered it, but just to clarify what you were saying, whether it's too fast. In your breathe, you can breathe as slowly or as fast as you wish.
Yes, this is definitely not hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely not. You build your own rhythm. And one of my teachers, his instruction is just breathe freely and easy. Okay, and that's all he says, and all the instruction that he gives.
Because to me it felt like hyperventilating.
Yeah, go at your own rhythm and your own pace, and you will find your own rhythm and your own pace. Are there any questions people would like to ask? Oh, right.
To elaborate the point around touch, because some people do like a lot of touch while they're going through the process, especially for the first time, and some people don't. So, you know, back to what Ben was saying, if you do want help, or do want some sort of support, do put your hand up and ask for what you want, you know, whether it's a hug or hold my feet or whatever it is. I mean, that's what we're here for, so please guide us to what we need.
Yes, it is very rare that we have this many angels in breathwork. You know, often it will just be a facilitator and you just have to get on with it yourself. But this time, we are so fun. You are going to be really held and supported. You know, we'll have almost one angel for 2 breathers. So you get a chance to be really supported and ask for what you need. Any other final questions? Yes.
I would just add, when I started with breath work, I kind of struggle with keeping the rhythm of the breath. So if you feel that you need help to breathe, just call the angel around you and we will support you and we will breathe with you to encourage you to breathe properly.
Okay, any other questions?
I am anti-making.
Yeah.
When I have an allergy, I burp a lot. So if no one likes burping,
That's fine, we welcome everything here, including burping. And if anyone wants to pass wind.
It's just the burp, really.
Okay. Any final questions?
Do you have time for the loo?
Yes, well, you know, it's like you're reading my mind, you're like my stooge. We are now going to get ourselves ready for breath work. The loos are up there, so get up, do what you need to do, be ready to breathe if you can be in less than 5 minutes.